Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Celia from Peach Lady Crafts. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this rose, crochet rose. And this is the first episode. If you want to learn how to make a square like this, keep watching and I will do a second episode for the leaves and the white round. Okay, alright, let's get started. So I used the yarn for 3 or 4 medium weights, and the crochet hook I used is 3.5 millimeter. I have here is the pattern. You can stop and make a screenshot to save this picture. So here is the rose petal pattern, and this is the back of the rose for the base of each petal. Alright, let's get started. First of all, let's look at the pattern that we're going to make for the rose. It is right over here. So you'll have first 5 rounds, and then you will make 3 petals the second round. The third round is 4 petals, and then 6 petals and 8 petals. And here is the back pattern of the rose. And I will explain more when we get to crocheting. Alright, so first you're gonna make a magical ring. So grab the yarn like this, and you wrap around from the back, wrap around your middle finger, and grab the ends like this. From here you want to do chain 1. Okay, and grab this end here and make 5 stitches. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're gonna pull this end to tighten the circle, and from here do a slip stitch into the first stitch. Slip stitch here and chain 1. And this is the first stitch. So make 1 stitch and then a double stitch into the same stitch. And then the second stitch, make a double stitch into the second stitch. Make a single stitch in the same stitch. And then single, the next one single, double, double, single, single, double, double, single. Alright, and then you will slip stitch into into the first stitch you just made, the beginning stitch, and you want to pull this tight. So let me make a knot at the end so it's secured. Okay, and then you flip over, and you just want to find the closer stitch towards the ring and make a single, make a slip stitch right here. It's a little hard, but you can do it. Okay, and then chain 1, 2, 3. Now because it's the back, we're gonna look at this round for pattern wise. So the first round, after we did 3 petals, we're gonna do the second round. The second round has 4 petals, so this is the 3. That's the 4 petals around for the base, and the dot is for a slip stitch. Okay, this X is a single stitch, the circle is a chain. Alright, let's do that. So I just finished chain 3, so it's right over here, and then we're gonna find, it's really hard to see, but it's around the petal. So first, remember each petal is composed of 2 double stitch and then 2 single stitch at the sides. So we're gonna first find the second double stitch, and we're just gonna do this and make a slip stitch in chain 3. After we find the second double, the second petal, we're gonna find the first double, right? Just make a slip stitch again right here. The slip stitch is the hardest part, and then make 3 chains again, and lastly we're gonna find the first single stitch of the third petal and make 3 chains. Lastly, just make 1 single stitch to connect to the first chains. Alright? So now you have 3 petals on the front and then 4 chains on the back. Alright, let's continue. After you do that, we're gonna make the second second row of the petals. So the second petal composed of, you just made 1 single stitch here, and we're gonna make 4 double stitch into the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 single stitch the end, and then do that again. Second petal, 4 double stitch, Alright, and then after you finish that, you just wanna flip back and find the first petal here and make a slip stitch again. And then you want to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4 as the pattern says over here. Let me just cut this end so it's easier. Okay. Now we're gonna make the second round of the petal, which has 6 petals. So the first is to find the last single stitch of the first petal. Actually you're gonna make a single stitch here. So let's do that again. So single stitch over here. 1, 2, 3. And then between the 2 double stitches you do a single stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then the first stitch of the next petal. 1, 2, 3. And then in between again, 1, 2, 3, the first stitch, 1, 2, 3, and lastly connect with 1 single stitch. Now this petal we're going to make 5 double stitches and 2 single stitch on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single stitch. Now single stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just keep doing that. Let me find you a finished work so you know what it looks like. So here's the finished rose petal. Rose, I mean, as you see, the first round is 3, and then 4, 6, and lastly it's 8. And we're making the, let me see, the third round of petals. So keep doing that. I keep hitting the tripod. That's why the camera was shaking. 4, 5. Perfect. Now you see these 6 petals here. Flip back and do the the slip stitch again, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the third round and fourth round, the first chain is always 4. So chain 4, find the last one of the first petal, make 1 single stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then on the 4th double stitch, make 1 single stitch. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then the second single stitch, make 1, 2, 3. Then it's the first single stitch. 1, 2, 3. Same petal, last single stitch. One, 2, 3. Lastly, it's the 4th petal. 1, 2, 3. And this, I like to do the middle petal, middle double stitch. 1, 2, 3, and single stitch to connect. Let me see if it's 8. Yep, 8. And then for the last round, it's 6 single stitch plus 2, 6 double stitches plus 2 single stitches on the end. Alright, once you finish that, just slip stitch to the next stitch and you can cut it off. Alright, your rose petal's ready, it's finished.